Hi, I'm Michael Smith for Nevada Trails. Tonight, a very special show. I have Rebecca Cullen, and she is with the National Wild Horse Center Incorporated. And what the other thing on your card says Western States Wild Horse and Burro Expo.
Burro Expo, yes.
And when I met some of your fellow Burro people, it was at the Genoa Cowboy Festival, and you had a lot of nice people, or not nice animals, I was going to say.
Nice animals.
They're like people to me because they're so friendly. And there's probably 4 or 5 walking around.
Yep, we had a pretty good turnout for that event. I was there actually by myself on Friday with my burro.
Oh.
And then Saturday and Sunday, there were multiple people in and out, depending upon who can donate what time. And
Well, you had a lot of pictures taken, but I've run into your people a number of times. Everybody's always friendly, and your cause is good. And could you explain to our viewing audience what your cause is?
The Western States Wild Horse and Burro Expo is a Nevada nonprofit organization. Our goal is to raise awareness for the animals, mustangs and burros, that are currently being held in holding facilities, namely BLM, and to get them adopted. We can't prevent them from being rounded up, but we can do what we can to find forever homes for those that are in long-term holding facilities. We do that with public meet and greets. We work with BLM and their inmate training program of the Mustangs. We have an ancillary group, Wild Ass Women, and
That always makes me laugh.
we also do a lot of parades in not only northern Nevada, but also in California.
Well, I always laugh when I see you in the Nevada Day Parade because there's a lot of women and they're really have fancy outfits.
Yep.
And the burros are all decorated too.
They are, within an inch of their lives.
Well, what I like about your organization is we all kind of, if the BLM has the animals, we got to do something to get them adopted. And you guys work on that. And in Carson City locally here, there's a prison that takes care of some animals too, right?
There is the Northern Nevada Correctional Facility in Carson has an inmate Mustang training program. They produce green broke animals and they are sold at auction 4 times a year. One of the auctions is actually at our 3-day event, which is coming up in August. So there will be a BLM auction of trained Mustangs on August 2nd. And they do a great job. I have one myself, my Mustang Gentry. They could not have done a better job.
That's awesome. That's at the fairgrounds, right?
It's at the fairgrounds, yes.
Gardnerville Ranchos Fairgrounds? Is it?
Douglas County.
Douglas County Fairgrounds.
Douglas County Fairgrounds, August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. It's essentially a 3-day horse show and burro show, showcasing the talents of adopted Mustangs and burros, and their owners go all out. We've got English classes, Western classes, trail, speed events. There's a lot of kind of comedy interludes with musical chairs with burros and funny things along that line. It's a good time.
Part of the training, I think I heard you briefly talk about it to somebody else. We're teaching them how to do like a path and then walking across probably a bridge or something. Or
the
obstacles.
Obstacles. The trail class can involve a number of things depending upon what the judge wants to see. There could be a garbage pit where the animals are walking into about a 10 by 10 box that's got maybe crushed plastic bottles in it. There could be a fake creek and they have to walk across AstroTurf or across a blue tarp or something like that. There's usually a bridge. A couple of years ago, there was a teeter-totter, surprisingly.
For a burro.
For a burro, yeah. That was interesting. There's gate pass-throughs. There's mailboxes to open. There will be some places where you need to trot your burro or your animal, or some places where you have to canter more for the animals that are being ridden than those that are being shown in hand.
Well, when I started thinking about the burros, I thought, as I get older, I'm starting to fall apart, and it'd be great to have like a burro to hold my air tanks and photography equipment.
They would do it.
Since I started getting setbacks about 7 years ago, but I could get a burro and then have them take me up the hill, and I could probably make it back with my burro.
You could.
If I went by myself, I might not make it back.
Well, if you got one to ride.
Well, I don't think I need to ride it, but just the idea of carrying the air tanks.
Yeah,
And
a
the
burro would
photography
do
equipment,
it. You know,
tripods, stuff like that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You've seen the floozy stuff that we put on our burros. They would certainly carry something as staid as an oxygen tank.
Well, they're so gentle, and they're like I said, I was thinking of them as people when we were talking, just because they were just so nice to be around.
They're funny creatures. They're a heck of a lot of fun. And the animals that we bring to the events, whether it's parades or meet and greets or something along that line, it isn't their first rodeo. Those animals are there because they epitomize what we're trying to show, what great animals these are, how much fun they are to be around, how personable they are.
Well, the Nevada Day Parade, there must have been thousands and thousands of people and confusion and cars and honking. And
Exactly.
And then, like I said, at the Cowboy Festival, people like me that don't even know, I'm petting them all, just attracted to them.
Yep.
So if they're getting contact from a stranger, that's a
Yeah.
good thing. Probably people smell different. And
My burro will not walk away if someone is petting her. She loves it.
She loves the
attention.
Well,
She
you have a
is-
burro and a Mustang.
I do. Actually,
Awesome.
I have two burros
Oh.
and a Mustang. However, one of them does not play well with others, so he doesn't usually
either.
leave the property. But the little spotted burro is my social butterfly. If somebody needs to go with me to show off the best these creatures can be, then she's it.
And when you adopted it, was this through the prison or is this through the organization?
The burros I actually purchased from a woman who had adopted them from BLM at Palomino Valley.
Oh, okay.
She'd had the spotted burro just long enough to get her ownership papers, which is 12 months after they adopt them. The little boy burro, she did not have his ownership papers yet, but once she received them, they did come to me. So I've had my burros for 9 years now.
Oh, wow. So you're a lot of experience.
Yeah. Yeah. What works for a horse does not work for a burro, so you have to figure out what does work for a burro.
Well, what do you feed them?
They get grass hay.
Oh,
that's
not
it.
too hard.
There's no alfalfa, there's no sweet feed, there's no grain, grass hay.
Awesome.
And they do get their treats. Of course, they love apples, love carrots, and they love watermelon.
Well, you've had the burros for 9 years. Do you do any training like we just mentioned about all the other kind of different things?
Yeah.
You do?
The spotted burro was actually the in-hand champion
Oh.
at
The champion?
The champion. And I have the big trophy buckle to prove it.
Oh, well, at this August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, there's buckles to be won?
There are.
It sounds like it's a competitive thing if you get buckles.
It's very competitive, and they're really nice buckles. There are 8 trophy buckles awarded and 8 reserve champion.
Well, that's a big deal. I've been around a lot of rodeos, and it's a big deal to get a buckle.
It is. It's nice, and we work with a little plug here, Gist Silversmiths in Placerville or Grass Valley.
And that's
not
the ones
sure.
that make the buckles?
They make our buckles, and because we are a nonprofit, they're very generous with their discount on the price of the buckles. So we're able to afford a buckle that's really much out of our price range. But they're
Wow.
great people.
Well, now that you're on the board of directors, so do you have time to even enter a burro, or you're too busy?
Too busy, unfortunately.
So you paid your dues?
Yeah.
It was fun.
I got my buckle, and now it's time to work.
Does your burro know that she was the champion? Was she like walking tall?
Nope, but I sure was.
Oh, because I know I talked to Alex Ramon once, and he had elephants that had a circus he worked at. And they just know it's when it's showtime. They're on. And
She just, I mentioned earlier the teeter-totter, and that was something that she just rocked it that year.
the teeter-totter.
The teeter-totter. You wouldn't think, but
These are relatively big animals.
it can vary. We've got guys that are not going to be very big. Maybe they're 350, 400 pounds. But then we've got some that are rideable, and they're, maybe 600, 700 pounds. So there's a wide range in their size.
So soon you could go to the fairgrounds and get yourself a burro.
You could. Actually, the auction that I was mentioning that BLM will have at our event, there are going to be 10 to 12 Mustangs, and there's also going to be a little burro.
Oh.
So a young burro that they've halter broke and gentled, and in most cases, they teach it some tricks.
So by the time it gets to the auction, it's pretty much ready to be to a family.
Yes, absolutely. You know, it's not broke to ride, but it's halter broke. Used to having its feet handled. They did auction one at their most recent auction, which was in May, and they had taught him to, or got him accustomed to carrying a saddle blanket and having a surcingle around his midline, so he's used to having the pressure of a girth.
Well, that's a big deal. You're getting used to having something on your back. It's
It
a big
is.
deal, and having people talk to you. We rescued some horses at my ranch, and they liked me, but it took a while. A lot of hand feeding, a lot of combing.
Yeah.
First time I tried to ride, they tried to take me off on a tree, and then, which I don't blame them, but they just had to get used to me. And then after a while, it was no problem. But my stepmom's cousin got on one. They just laid down and broke her shoulder. So I'm just saying that's what my experience is. If the animal is safe, it's good to tell the people, and if it's not safe, it's good to tell people what level they are. And but the horses loved me. They just, I don't know why. I guess we endured each other. But I fed them. I walked them. I cleaned them.
They get accustomed to you.
They got used to me.
Well, the animals that come through BLM are green broke, especially the horses. And Hank Curry, who oversees the inmates and the Mustangs there at the prison, is very good about saying, does the horse need a capable rider? Does the horse need a really proficient rider?
Oh, yeah.
Or does he think that it will be safe to be around children? He is very good at mentioning how the animal should not be used.
That's perfect. Well, we're going to go to a short break, but can you give out your contact information?
It is www.Western States Wild Horse and Burro Expo, or to shorten it, www.wswhbe.com. And that website shows our upcoming event, again, which is in Gardnerville in August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Tells about our group, what our mission is, who we are, and also has photographs of our animals.
Awesome. And then when we come back, we'll try to put it on again so you have a chance to get some paper too.
Oh, great.
All right, so we'll be right back. Thank you very much. Hi, we're back with Rebecca Cullen, and you're with the Western States Wild Horse and Burro Expo.
Yes.
That must be a big acronym.
Yeah.
But in any case, I want to get back and focus on the event coming up. It's pretty exciting. You moved it from Reno to Gardnerville area.
We did.
And we're real proud to have you. And
Thank you.
Like I said before, I really am already a fan of what you do. So it's even better that I can come and shoot you locally. And if you don't mind, I'd like to come and shoot the events.
We would love that.
Well, is it like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. The Friday, the 1st, is all English classes. Essentially, it's a horse show.
Okay, what time do I get there?
Classes should start about 8 a.m.
Oh, wow.
and go until they're finished,
Okay.
which it's hard to predict how long they will go during the day because at this point we don't know how many entrants there will be.
So by classes, you mean the judging?
The judging.
Because
yeah.
I used to be active in the goat community.
Okay, so you've got an idea of what I'm talking about.
I was a goat birther type person. And judging can take a long time.
It can.
And so, but it's also a very stressful time for people that are contestants. It's fun to watch
Yes,
the
it is.
competition. Yeah, so that could be fun. So I'm going to try to see that.
It's a good time. Friday has the English events, so it's English saddle, English tack, English wear, and also the in-hand classes.
In-hand?
In-hand, where the animal is being shown in hand.
Oh,
you're leading
you're
it
walking
as
around
as
okay.
opposed to under saddle.
Okay.
And those are the showmanship, that kind of thing, where it's the animal being judged or how you're presenting the animal. And then the riding classes will occur after those in-hand classes are done.
So you have the person that's kind of like running with the horse and things?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's it.
I
And
know.
then that afternoon, we'll start the inmate challenge,
Ooh.
which is a competition of the inmates who are preparing Mustangs for auction on the next day, Saturday the
Well,
2nd.
that's got to be a big deal.
It's a heck of a lot of fun, and the guys really take it seriously. There's quite a bit of competition among them, not only to have the horse that gets the highest bid at auction, but to win our competition.
Well, I've heard they're so close to their animals. Sometimes I like take naps with them in the yard and things.
They
'cause
do.
The animals are like big dogs.
Well, the burros that I mentioned,
Yeah.
the burros that they train, they have trained the burros to lay down.
Yeah.
And the guys are all kicked back laying on them, and they share their lunch with them, and it's pretty darn cute. And of course, many of them, it may be the first animal they've trained. Some of the guys have never had any contact with horses. So they're coming in, they don't know how to ride, they don't know how to train a horse, and the program just embraces them.
Well, it's good for
Shows
both.
them, oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it brings them back to life, probably.
They put out a wonderful product. My Mustang, who I bought at auction there 4 years ago, could not be gentler.
Oh,
He's gentle, he's kind, he's got a sane mind, he's a wonderful trail horse, and he doesn't have any vices. There's no pawing, no pacing, no chewing on the fences, that kind of thing.
Spread your garden.
He's a great horse.
Well, that's awesome.
I
So
can't say
Friday,
more.
Friday afternoon is now the inmates doing the thing.
Friday afternoon starts the inmate challenge, and then it winds up on Saturday just before the animals are auctioned. And one highlight this year, in addition to winning their challenge, there is now going to be a trophy saddle awarded.
Oh, wow.
A brand new trophy saddle donated by the Apple family in California.
That's a big deal.
It's a very big deal.
Jeez.
It's a beautiful
You
saddle.
got good connections.
These guys, whoever wins the challenge will win the use of this brand new saddle for the next year. And then it's a perpetual trophy. So
It moves to the next winner. I like
Exactly.
those, like the Stanley Cup.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's going to be pretty exciting because the guys use whatever tack has been donated, and some of their saddles have been around for a really long time. So I think it would be pretty exciting to get the use of a brand new saddle.
It's such a good cause. Can we bring stuff to donate to this event?
Oh, absolutely. The inmate training program is always in need of boots, jeans, boot socks, tack that even if it's used, as long as it's in usable condition, we'll take it all, and they will gladly accept it.
Awesome. Well, is there at this site, is there booths and things for people to eat food and
There
drink
is
things
going
and-
to be a food booth, yes. That's all that we will allow at
Okay.
our event. But there also will be a barbecue
Ooh, okay.
Saturday evening and music.
All right.
So there will be a band also. And the barbecue is excellent, and the music was even more so last year, and we're having the same band back.
What's the band?
I believe the name is Exit 22.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's
Excellent. If
kind
they're
of
if they're good enough to come back, that's a good band.
They are great. I had the best time listening to them last year.
So you got barbecue, you got foods concessions, you got
Yep,
all
we've
kinds
got
of things going on.
vendors, the main auditorium there, which is one building.
How many vendors do you have?
We don't know yet.
Well, I mean,
it's always a wild card.
50, 20?
Oh no, unfortunately not that many.
Maybe next year we'll get that many.
Man, I'd hope so.
We'll
I
work
hope
on it.
so.
This is a good cause. We'll work on it.
This being our second year in this venue, and with the downturn in the economy, it really has affected us quite a bit. Not only are our competitor numbers down, our vendor numbers are down also. So we hope that as the economy turns around, so does that.
Well, hopefully when people see the show, you get some last-minute calls.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
Because this community supports our vendors, so we do a good job.
That would be wonderful.
Well, we had mentioned earlier at break, is this a ticketed event? How do you get into place?
The only charge for incoming is by car, and it's $5 per car to park. And then from that, you get the bands.
So you have 5 people, it's like $1 each.
Yeah, exactly.
Boy, that's reasonable.
It's very reasonable, and it's a good time. It's a healthy, wholesome family event. Other than maybe the use of the word ass a couple of times, there isn't going to be anything there that you can't share with your children.
Well, we've had a lot of fun talking about that just because the women that group is so funny. And they work so hard for the cause, too. It's a lot of dedicated people.
There's a lot of dedicated people. We enjoy showing our asses.
Yeah. Well, how did you get involved in all this?
I lost my original horse a number of years ago and made the decision that I wasn't sure I wanted a horse again. So I got the 2 Burros instead. And next thing I know, I'm telling somebody I've got a Burro, and she's a wild-ass woman. And it's just kind of snowballed from there. Went and started showing the Burro. And as I said, I won the trophy buckle one year.
Oh, wow.
Won one of the trophy buckles. And then as I became more acquainted with the folks on the committees, on the board, when the treasurer left, they asked me if I'd like to step in as interim treasurer, and I've not left.
Well,
so they've got me.
No, you've done a good job. You work hard for the organization, and I heard about you, and you've been very aggressive on getting the word out. So when people, like I said, I try to find people that have a passion for what they do and then get them on the show, because I always think people will at least respect you enough to watch the show. And I think we're going to have people not turning the channel.
No, I hope so.
Because this is just a cool thing, because we know the BLM have a lot of these animals.
Yes, they
so
do.
now the problem is, how do you get rid of them? You don't kill them, you don't sell them, you don't eat them. So let's try to get them adopted. I think it's a logical thing. We
It's
can help
a win-win.
We can help a lot of animals in what you do, and I hope that you have a lot of PR booths there to help people pass the word on what to do with this situation.
We do. BLM will have a booth there, and as they actually own the animals that are going through the inmate training program, just about any information that you need you can receive from BLM. The inmates who have trained those horses offer a lot of insight into that animal. Hank Curry, who is over the inmate training program, also shares, as I said, what an animal should not be used for, whether it needs an advanced rider, that kind of thing. And they do their best to show the animal off. They want you to see, hey, you can stand on its back and twirl a lariat if you want to. Not that I would, but I have a photograph of my Mustang that way.
I'm still shocked about the teeter-totter. But no, as far as like educating people like me, will there be any kind of lectures or just one-on-one interviews I should do? Or?
There is going to be a clinician, and
Oh.
I'd be remiss in not mentioning him. Ray Lockhart is coming in from California. He was at our event last year, and he does a lot of work with Mustangs, and he's gentle with them. He's going to have his clinics that will run pretty much throughout the 3 days. And there's a separate area, separate arena where he will be giving his clinics, and there's a little bit of a bleacher there also. So
We'll ask him if we can come and tape him, and maybe you can get him on the show in the future.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, because this is, he's got some good information. Well, we're down a minute and a half. Give out your contact information again.
Again, it's the Western States Wild Horse and Burro Expo. I know it's a mouthful.
It's that long one.
It is a long one. www.wswhbe. And anything you ever wanted to know but were afraid to ask should be on that website. If you've got any questions you don't find there, give one of us a call. There's contact information, where the event's going to be, what the dates are, what the classes will be, English, Western, trail, and speed events on Sunday. And if you haven't seen a burro doing speed events, then you have not lived.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's a heck of a lot of fun. And again, another thing that's really a lot of fun is musical chairs with the burros.
Also,
and that will be sometime on Saturday.
That is there like an address I can send money to for donations if they can't come to this event?
There is. You can use any of the main contact person is our president, Stacy Coleman. Her information is on the website, as is mine. And give us a call. Let us know if you've got boots, jeans, tack that you want to pick up and donate. We'll certainly be more than happy to do that also.
Sounds good. Well, thank you,
All
Rebecca,
right.
for being on Nevada Trails.
Thank you.
So Mike Smith from Nevada Trails. And go see it. It's going to sound like a fun one. Thank you very much.